up, guys? We're here. I have F1 on my side.
Said Charles, you beat me, Gore. The first comment, LOL. Grinning, squinting face.
Is MG ready? I like that there's some competition for that. Charles is very quick with it. G ready, always going for it. I should have competitions for who's first to say what up in the chat. Notification swab. Hello, Alto.
Said good afternoon, bro, and chat waving hand.
We see that quite a bit. Now, what happened to the bollard? Whoops.
Said Charles waving hand.
Does he get points for that? I wonder. Here goes Carlos Sainz ahead of Fernando Alonso. One Spaniard overtaking the other, and Sainz is up into second place. Alonso 3/100ths of a second slower in the reaction times, and you can see the analysis 0 to 100 kilometers an hour. That's where Verstappen got that extra advantage. And Hamilton's got some
Said happy Father's Day, guys. Smiling face with sunglasses.
Yeah, happy Father's Day.
Said G_ready Prince waving hand.
It seems like there's like nobody online that I can see.
That's a good attempt to get Magnussen black and orange flagged and into the pits for a new front wing. But it's
said happy Father's Day, gentlemen.
Concern, isn't it? You can see it is moving further and further.
Said also my man, what's up, buddy? What are we doing?
I was gonna do daily races, but for now I have to wait another 10 minutes to do it. I'm not gonna qualify. Probably can take any car I want, but we'll do the first one with the BRZ for sure. Taking the Ferrari off the bat, it sounds crazy.
Said hi Alto and ready. Said, so what are you playing today, bro?
I'm not sure, Alto. Like I said, the dailies, whatever comes to me. I don't see anything too crazy here. I want to do GS right here. Nobody doing that in the entire world.
Joe Guan Yu has got ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. He's 9th. Ricciardo runs 10th. Lando Norris still stuck in 14th at the moment behind Valtteri Bottas now, and out in front 3.3 seconds the margin Max Verstappen has over Carlos Sainz.
You got something.
Said I'm liking daily race B.
You like B? I haven't even done race B yet. Not one time.
Alto winking face. Said, and happy Father Day to everyone. Said LOL. I'll fire up the PS4 Pro face with tears of joy.
Management situation is it's very much on the margins of a one-stop or a two-stop race this afternoon. So the more you can take it easy on the tires, the more it lends itself
take the Lancer and just smoke him with it.
The less chance you have of
drive it one more time,
wasting another 18 seconds by making a pit stop that you could have avoided. That is what the strategy teams are
I'd rather have the Ferrari here, but I know Lancer's faster.
What are you looking at today?
I don't know the level of these Europeans.
Said it's trial mounting. I love the track. Said you have to wait for my slow.
It's a GTR race, right, Chuck? Did you use the GTR?
It's because he's got left front green. I thought the audio was going to come in, but yeah, he's been complaining on more than one occasion that he's got greening. And Alonso is in the DRS. Alpine have said to Alonso, just keep going with the DRS. Having said that, Sainz has just done the fastest lap of the race. Black and orange flag has been shown for Kevin Magnussen.
That's a Hong Kong flag.
Said GR4, yeah.
Disappointment there then. Gasly and Vettel pitted on this lap, so presumably they've been getting some training or something, and that has to be strategic, doesn't it? Because there's no safety car or anything like that. But that's really bad news for Magnussen.
Said yeah, but I used a Mustang because I'm sick of using the same damn car as everyone else. Said I've been using all diff cars. Track is pretty equal to all cars.
He makes the move against the hairpin. There's George Russell. Kevin Magnussen, key move for George Russell, already the only driver this season to finish in the points in every race, but he's finished in the top 5 in every race too. Meanwhile, Charles Leclerc is on the tail of Lando Norris, and Norris has got a bit of DRS to help preserve his 14th place with Valtteri Bottas just ahead of him. Sebastian Vettel came into the race with onto the hard compound tyre.
01 with the Mustang on that combination. Jeps_187 thumbs up.
So will be almost as if we've just turned up on a Friday morning, and that is why they're punishing the surface of the tyres.
Gasly, we often see this, Martin, don't we? Closing speeds into the pit lane can be quite alarming.
Yes, it's exactly the same line. If you're braking heavily for the final chicane, or freewheeling into the pits as fast as you can.
So we have a rear view now from the Haas.
Be careful, you'll be given a black and orange flag, so we'll have to begin to change the front wing.
We didn't hear Kevin Magnussen's reaction to that. I imagine it wasn't exactly suitable for a family broadcast because Magnussen was running in.
Trying to hear F1 and this at the same time as possible.
Pit stop that he could have done without.
Yeah, it's about a dozen seconds.
The headphones are like
Use the front jack.
drowning it out.
We lift the car on the nose, so that's got to come off. So all the side jacks in. At least they can change the tyres as well. If they can get this way longer than a dozen seconds, unfortunately it's going to be more like 22 seconds. And Charles Leclerc in 14th place now is someone stuck in a DRS train. In fact, everybody in front of him has got the rear wing open. And it's rather hard to for Leclerc as he's nearly a minute behind Verstappen already.
Kevin Magnussen as he leaves the pits is that he's now behind Pierre Gasly. He was 6th. He's now behind Gasly and running 20th by an extra long pit stop that he could have done without. Right, Karun down to... Oh, no. Stay on board with Sergio
It's not like
Perez.
F1, it's always the same.
And if qualifying was bad, this is epic.
Oh,
For Sergio Perez, he is out of the race. He's going to find a gap by the grandstand there that the marshals can push that red line to. But out and another retirement for Red Bull.
No safety car there, they were stuck in gear. So it says more like the hydraulics have gone then and the throttle's gone, I'd imagine. It had to be a safety car because marshals are out on.
Oh, it froze.
Said it really does handle fairly well on that track, which
I have
sort
a
of
feeling I'm on
surprised
the wrong tire. Maybe.
Said, what car are you driving, bro?
This Lancer.
Said, oh, manufacturers, my bad.
No, this isn't manufacturers. This is just the open lobby. Just random European people that I found. I was trying to watch F1 as well, and wait till the next daily race. Like, this is going to be what I was going to do. This is probably more competitive than a daily race right now. I'm not sure if it was on again. This time of day.
Said LOL. I turned around. Said I'm watching an old boxing clip of Roberto Duran and Tommy the Hitman Hearns thumbs up. Great Prince. Said almost at 150k views, bro, thumbs up.
Oh, geez, that's a lot. That's quite a few.
Great Prince. Said nice work, buddy.
We hit 100,000 like last month. So we're getting a lot right now. I'm in the slipstream still. Slipcast.
Great Prince. Said not me, I wish, lol.
You'll get there. You have very interesting things to post. They've just begun. That was close. I was fully committed when I went from. Not have downshifted there. Okay. No, I'm not okay. Oh, we're still on the draft. We have a chance.
Said thanks, buddy. I appreciate it that you can't wait to do a collaboration with you. Whatever you need 3D printed, you let me know, winky face.
Oh, it's plenty of stuff. Just gotta write them down, these ideas that I have. Almost had it. Came back. Was right behind him at the end. I barely kept the draft going into the final straight. That was really cool. But I still got a little bit. He couldn't stop me.
Great Prince. Said nice race.
Thanks. That four-wheel drive domination in the open lobby. Should I try the Ferrari now? The lightened up Ferrari? Or should I go do race C and just say goodbye to these guys? Had a good race with them. What tires was I on in the other car? And what's going on with my stream here? Totally like just sleeping at this point. So many ads. Fighting the ads all.
That's why Mercedes put it out. He'll be racing in next seconds. The later sights and Alonso and Russell all stop, so Hamilton might be down to it. With the others pit, he could find himself in the top two.
Yeah, George Russell is realising Mercedes can be on the podium today, and he's just realising at the moment Lewis is very much got
top of the grid were saying,
Yeah.
racing really. Max Verstappen today, easy overtake for Verstappen, he's back up into the top six.
We definitely need to look at these DRS. They're too low, aren't they? They're making it too effective
He said, I seen an ad on my video the other day. I gotta say that's the only ads that I like to see rolling on the floor laughing.
Going into that final chicane, and out of it, absolutely wringing the wheels off that Ferrari is Charles Leclerc, but he's just not getting near enough.
No, because he's slower on the way out the hairpin down into turn 10. He was slower out of the final chicane there. He doesn't appear to have a lot of brilliant grip on that Ferrari.
Techno is down to you. Not the only one, Mark. He's not the only one, Martin. I think Alonso's starting to lose grip quite considerably on his tyres. I think he's thinking about the stop on the Alpine pit wall, you know, that happens the next lap or two. Russell has responded to Hamilton,
Dang.
hasn't he?
So I'll be more careful. I'm still driving it a little
Again,
bit.
closing up him, so that's very, very tight. We'll see what happens with Hamilton potentially getting very, very close to Russell. And Zhou Guanyu is trying his luck on Mick Schumacher, much going to get behind in the Sauber and the Haas P7. So there might be a point there.
Sid Road Street Racing, what is your thoughts on a Sucto Punch Peak coming next week?
Is that what it's gonna be? That'd be cool. If that's what they're picking, that's cool. I own a Suzuki.
If you're just joining us and tuning
I own
in,
a Suzuki. I drive it every day. I'm gonna drive it today.
see what's happening.
Said the ads I absolutely cannot stand seeing are anti-Second Amendment ads. G_E Prince thumbs up.
Taking place down that back straight. Alex Albon trying to break the toe. Valtteri Bottas having nothing of it.
Said he
Bottas
can't
tries to
wait
go
for
around the
this
outside. He is just
Last time I drove it was
two
GT3.
car lengths from making that move stick. I think Leclerc wants that move to stick because Leclerc thinks he can get past the Williams a bit more easily.
I'll be more careful on this false
Said
start.
I can't stand them, lol. Faced with tears of joy, I don't watch cable TV anymore, lol.
Hopefully getting past some cars. That hasn't worked. And you can just watch it, wagging its tail coming out of so many of the slow corners.
So what would you do with Charles Leclerc? Is it worth just running him in a bit of free air and a bit of clean
I did
track?
it again! Oh my gosh, man. I'm like programmed to let go.
You said, look at maybe go to the end. Do that. Safety car and try to get to it.
Yeah, put it behind Vettel and Gasly.
Down to test track at 1,300 miles per hour.
What I do know is it's not working at the moment.
Karun Chandok and Sky
I
Racing.
didn't want to let go, and I did anyway.
Leclerc's been complaining about the
Where is he going? He got tires down.
So that may explain why the rear of his cars in a little way by as we see Bottas trying to have a go at the hairpin. But Leclerc's been asking his engineers for advice on switches that he can change. Probably good and cool.
I was going to say Bottas a lot closer to Alex Albon on this occasion. He's wheel to wheel. As we get towards the chicane, he's half a car length in
Said
front.
these
He's a
morons
car
have
length in
replaced an
front.
office line to try to strip us law-abiding citizens of our Second Amendment. What party shall not be
Is now coming
don't
into
those
Alex
morons
Albon. I said he
understand?
might fancy his chances of getting past that Williams a bit easier, and that's exactly what happened. As soon as Albon was the car ahead of Charles Leclerc, Leclerc said thank you very much, and he's up to 11th.
Yeah, well, sitting down there though, he's got pinched to the inside of turn 13, which would mean he's always going to be slow racing off the exit of 14. And the DRS just get the move done quite easily. So, great racing, isn't it?
It's superb action, absolutely everywhere. So much so that
I'm barely holding on with this car. It's not as fast.
Yes, I was going to say, Lewis has been
A little better than
complaining that he
Haven't
doesn't think
driven a
these
lot
tyres
since
can get to the end of the race. So,
Did get a new bump.
to be honest, I think on lap 10, with 60 laps on a green track and they're going to be talking about, being optimistic. So I'm intrigued. I don't think Verstappen can go to the end of the race either on those same set.
So if he has to stop again, safety cars come into play.
Said watch out
So
and
I
plan
think if
start
you're
because of the
I
jumps.
don't think for a moment that it's going to be an easy
I'm trying to remember what section that is, but I know where the jumps are, so okay.
Similar to when they ran
I'll
their
watch out for
strategies on Friday. Highs as well.
Said he's trying to play Democrat too with those anti-Second Amendment meetings as well as G_E Prince.
Good news for Carlos Sainz on his pit.
Yeah, in other words, on medium compound tyres, if you get through the grading, they'll be coming back to you.
You should get YouTube Premium, and then you won't have to watch those ads anymore. Although I have it. It's nice to not see ads from my old jobs and stuff like that.
The sensible idea for the Mercedes team as a whole.
Said the jumps are behind the ice curtain after Margin/YouTube
Racing,
Prince.
to see drivers try and overtake each other, but that's why that would come through.
Please don't block me, sir.
Mick Schumacher and Zhou he was Cosmic Schumacher. There he is. He's actually stationed.
I mean, I like it. I like it a lot. I've had Premium for a little bit. About a year now.
Pushed off a few moments ago. This is another virtual safety car, and in comes
I
George.
didn't even mean to touch him, but like he's braking super early. Hang on inside.
So Sainz and Verstappen, Alonso and Hamilton will go through under the virtual safety car and a cheap pit stop.
St. Lawrence was a beautiful track.
For Russell, Ocon, Joe and Daniel Ricciardo.
That's played beautifully into George Russell's hands because
If I started first, I could get away with it.
he is behind his teammate Lewis Hamilton.
That wouldn't have been
Now,
too
of course, with tyres
The easy way around, whole lap.
on lap 19
Hey, lock.
instead of lap 8 for Lewis.
Slow pit stop for Daniel Ricciardo though. Station for 2.6 seconds. Sebastian Vettel in again. And that is the strategy. I think the Aston Martin team has Vettel's going for a second time here because they think they can go to the end of the race with 7 hard tyres for 50 laps. 10 down to you.
Yeah, Vettel has, but it was a disastrously slow stop for Lando Norris. He was stacking, they were effectively stacking. I don't think the tyres were ready for Lando. He lost about 6 or 7 or 8 seconds. Now we've got another Ferrari. The other Ferrari coming in.
Charles Leclerc stayed out to get some track position. This is pushing back in.
What's up, BX? Hello.
The overtake.
Since
You messaged me so early, bro. You messaged me like the crack of dawn on Sunday morning. Like, yo.
You were on it.
I didn't see it until I woke up late, though. It bothered me today.
What's that man going to do to score a point? I feel so sorry for him.
Man, you did not go great.
Pit stop. Come out behind Alonso.
said and
Close behind Lewis Hamilton.
Getting wake-up calls from ZX. ZX every time. All week.
Sides in and out to preserve his position.
said as long as I did not wake up
You did not.
now.
You did not say
Feeds
that.
into the outside.
The other day you did either. I was just
Said what happened.
I wasn't out sleeping last night.
No excitement.
Your message is well timed.
We have got Carlos Sainz on Blur tyres. Lewis Hamilton on tyres that are nicely warmed up and a decent amount of that's going to be going on here. Verstappen leads the race. Fernando
We're going
Alonso
round.
is in second place, still on those medium.
If I can make it happen, I will.
Everyone else
Giving him a push.
Norris is on the hard compound tyre. Carlos Sainz, the Ferrari we can see ahead. And
Said
Lewis
always
Hamilton,
keep
the
phone.
Mercedes.
Go to sleep
I
now.
tried to, yeah.
And let's just see what DRS enables the speed of the Mercedes compared to the speed of the Ferrari.
Yeah, but the Ferrari just released on their beautiful curve. And then it built an ice cap. And I'm a bit surprised how many didn't pit. So maybe they think maybe yet another safety car of some kind.
These strategies they think make it work out best. Hamilton with DRS gaining on Carlos Sainz when he's in the run out of straight. Once we look at that Ferrari, we can see why Mercedes, the other Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, as I mentioned, up its place now, starting 19th in this race. Leclerc hasn't pitted and gone for track position. Leclerc really going for it ahead of Valtteri Bottas now. Great move from Charles Leclerc into that final chicane. 8th place, now is 7th.
Yeah, that's what it
I think I bumped him.
have to do to get some points today because he desperately needs points. Perez is now Perez second in the World Championship out of the race. Reigning World Championship leader Verstappen has kind of had the weekend to himself, hasn't he?
Yeah, actually.
By and large.
He's now 7.7 seconds clear at the end of lap 21. His teammate Sergio Perez out of this race with some issues. So Schumacher out of this race too. Now, Fernando Alonso in second place. That's Carlos Sainz behind him once again. And before we saw Sainz make a very easy pass.
I feel bad for
There's your repeat.
was it the GTR again that I like mugged off the deal?
Up into second place.
He was trying to go around the outside of that corner. He almost had it. I tried to like give room, and then the track kind of moves this way.
Said you back in Ferrari LUL. Said the GR4 isn't that bad, I heard.
We're ready was the medium tyre on the front left.
can watch the race, though.
And if we look at the front right, I'm just seeing here the confusion because they put the wrong tyre on the front left. Now they can get the hard tyres on, which is what they wanted to put on, but they were just waiting and waiting and waiting for that to happen. Whilst that was happening, Charles Leclerc was making his way through the field.
I'll do one more in here at least. I'll have fun in here.
Great move as Lewis Hamilton owns it on his former nemesis, Fernando Alonso.
The man who's held him once or twice in the past couple of years as well. But Fernando Alonso hasn't been into the pits yet. These tyres are a lot older than Hamilton's. Hamilton moves out from behind the rear wing of the Alpine and then moves past the Alpine by the time they put the brakes on and into that final chicane and pass by the wall of champions. Once more, Verstappen leads by 9.3 seconds from Carlos Sainz. Then comes Lewis Hamilton, then Fernando Alonso and George Russell currently running in fifth, 21 seconds. Currently separate the top five with another 10 seconds back to Esteban in seventh. Joe Guan Yu is up to, and Joe Guan Yu is right behind Lance Stroll. Now Stroll hasn't pitted. Joe Guan Yu has Bottas and Leclerc also haven't pitted in this race, and the Aston Martin under pressure from the Alfa Romeo. Joe Guan Yu trying to go around the outside of Stroll in his own race is having none of that whatsoever. He started right at the back, did last Stroll in 17th place twice. He's come to finish at the points here in Montreal from that particular position, and he's doing something that this Silverstone race team has done once in the past, and that's gone very, very long for the first stint.
Sainz's hard tyres then are a dozen laps younger and fresher than Verstappen's up front, so Verstappen will need a little bit of time management just to make sure.
We don't have enough speed. You're doing very good job. Keep pressure, just keep pressure.
Wants to get past the Aston Martin. He thinks the Aston has got a top speed that they just can't compete with at the moment. Obviously, scored points in his first race. Did Joe Guan Yu, the 66th driver, to score points on his debut in Formula 1. But he's taking quite a long time for his next points holiday. Thinks he might come today.
Yeah, you see, when you lose your head a little bit like that and get angry on the road, then he locks his brakes into the hairpin. You want to stay focused on your car, your race. There's nothing you can do about straight line speed. You've got to keep moving on. I understand his frustration. You have to stay focused.
The first ever Chinese driver to race in Formula 1. Looking at the rear of that Aston Martin, struggling for traction at the exit of turn 2 and thinking, right, do that now to get ahead of the leads. And if you do that out there,
Sit World Street Racing using Gran Turismo added more different pipes to each cars.
Claimed these two runs the Alpha Tauri, Yuki Tsunoda.
That would be cool. Yeah, hill climb cars are always cool. Any hill climb car.
Is out in front, Verstappen and Sainz pretty much lapping within a few hundredths of a second of each other. Currently, Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton round about 0.4 of a second slower.
We need like time attack cars.
So starting to lose pace with the top
It's crazy
Yeah,
front
so
down
it's
force and
just
stuff like
when
that.
Russell in fifth place is on the same pace as the edging towards the leader's pace, so he's quite happy with his car at the moment. And Mercedes really showing up much better than they did on Friday.
Absolutely. Mercedes are hanging on in third place in the Constructors' Championships with consistency, not necessarily pace so far this season. As Stroll has a look in his mirrors and says, right, where are you? Where are you, Joe? You're coming forward. Which side are you going to try and overtake? Front position by Gran Turismo as wide as I possibly can.
No, but that would be awesome.
Instead of Joe
That'd be awesome.
Smoker into turn 1 to keep Joe Guan Yu a little bit more frustrated.
The Alpha's going well this afternoon, isn't it? And I think he's just under he got a warning flag for clipping that bollard we saw at the end of the first lap, so away with that one.
It's reliability that's been costing Alfa Romeo this season. The mechanical DNFs, and I think going into this race, not quite sure in their reliability to get through 70 laps here again. Keeping their fingers crossed, and so are we. We're on board now with Charles Leclerc, his most Esteban Ocon on his side. So once we can do that, let's head down to 10.
Yeah, probably just talking about Alpine. You know, a lot of us are suffering from hay fever at the moment, and aversion to pollen. Like Fernando Alonso's got pitch fever, and aversion to pit stops, because he's had two offers now of a virtual safety car, and hasn't taken either of them. He is okay on the tyres, I suppose, when he's doing 119s, whereas Hamilton
race. It's the hairpin we go. 10 tyres in close enough for the Alpine, but not close enough for Leclerc. Experienced driver as he is now, racing in what is his 89th Grand Prix. Close enough for
Said he will probably screw the track up just like he did in the Force Raceway.
instant impacts down that straight to get past the Alpine. He's got pace, but not quite enough. Comfortably holding him off there, and comfortably holding him off.
I didn't think Deep Forest was that bad. What don't you like about Deep Forest, Alto?
Certainly through
What's wrong with Deep Forest?
turn 10 in Charles Leclerc. You sense if he can just get a bit of fresh air for a while, and there is some fresh air in front of him, Leclerc can suddenly start to bring himself back into a chance of a whole
Said they just couldn't leave anything alone and just had to screw up the last section.
They'd like him to extend this stint as long as they possibly can. Keep us posted, they say. We've got training left front especially, says Fernando Alonso. It's the left front we kind of have to watch here, isn't it?
So I'm assuming that they're just watching Leclerc and they think they're racing Leclerc basically down in seventh with Fernando Alonso at the moment. Leclerc is 15, 16 seconds behind, isn't he? That's
So do they need to box now? Looks like they do. 10 rabbits. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Here they come, yeah, so no virtual safety car, but trying to do the one stop. They might still do the one stop, you never know. Everybody else, I would think, have to stop again. Fernando comes in, hits his mark, it's the hard tyre.
Can barely do donuts.
This hard tyre can go. So will it just go to the end from here? Probably. Will it go to the end from the other people who put it on, even ones at the second safety
So maybe
car?
we'll do the
It's
next
probably
daily
not.
race
So,
after this.
Alonso going along now on these hard tyres. Good luck to him.
Yeah, the one they might have to keep an eye on a little bit later in this race is Sebastian Vettel, who's trying to go 50 laps, I think, on a set of hard tyres. His tyres might just go off a little bit before others, assuming we don't get any safety cars.
Said faced with tears of joy, faced with tears of joy, faced with tears of joy from the what? Bro has eaten donuts, faced with tears of joy.
again, just to see him edging towards counter steering all the way through, and Alonso then up behind him on the fresh tyres. So with Leclerc stuck behind the other Alpine of Esteban Ocon. Yeah, Alpine, I think they decided quite early on that we're fighting Leclerc. Forget the rest of the riders.
Longest run on the C3 tyres, the hard compound
That
tyre
ruined
in
it.
2019 was 65 laps. Carlos Sainz still back in those days we had DRS, of course, and that's what Charles Leclerc is now.
He got by.
I dare say he'd like that straight to carry on, and he stayed in touch through the chicane, having car penetration for Esteban Ocon, who's made his pit stop, and he's keeping Leclerc frustrated.
That slowed down a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Leclerc is now almost 2 pit stops off the lead. It's just not working out, leaving him in the back.
Certainly is, and it's what is working out well. There's this race for Max Verstappen. We're on lap 30. He leads by 8.3 seconds from Carlos Sainz, starting on par there for the first time ever in Canada. Max Verstappen's best result here is a third place back in 2018. Looking imperious out in front. Sainz doing a decent job with the fastest lap for Ferrari so far as well. In second place, Lewis Hamilton and George Russell running third and fourth. Esteban Ocon runs fifth, and Charles Leclerc currently in sixth after that pit stop for Fernando Alonso. Bottas runs in eighth. He hasn't stopped in this race yet. Neither has Stroll. He's on 29 lap on tyres. Joe Guanyu catching him.
So he's still in DRS, Charles Leclerc there, but Sainz has got the gap down to 8.4 at the moment. It was 8.2 at the end of the last lap. It was over 9 seconds. He's edged a second out of Verstappen, but can't help but feel that Verstappen's got it under control.
Stroll, I think's got it under control with Joe Guanyu once again. We still have the Alfa Romeo behind him in close contention for quite some time, and he's gaining now as Joe gaining down that further main straight. Can't quite get past the green Aston Martin into turn one. Behind Joe comes Daniel Ricciardo, and then Sebastian Vettel, who's the only driver that's stopped twice in this race so far. Gasly, Magnussen, Albon, Norris, and Latifi. We've lost Mick Schumacher Sergio Perez opposed mechanical failure.
I don't think Leclerc's got a straight line speed issue. We know he tripped the car out. He just can't get off the corners. And that's then affecting and you somehow with the drag these cars create, you never quite get to the top speed issue if you don't get a good exit off the corner. A bit closer this time, but look how wide he has to run. That then makes turn 11 almost a turn, which is a dry. There's 12, which kind of ignored because it doesn't exist. He's really having to fight the car.
Close enough that just for one moment, I think he and I might just be on the cards. And there's enough Ferrari fans here willing Charles Leclerc on as we head down towards turn 1. But there's just not enough traction on the exit to give him that speed and to get him close enough with the DRS along the straights to make the overtake. And as they head down, it's more out towards the far side of the track. Once more, Charles Leclerc is now in this time.
Alonso's not catching up. He's obviously babysitting his tyres getting to the end.
His tyres out in front. Still stopping the tyre set is Lance Stroll. Doing a fine job. Joe brand new behind him. This the train of cars with Stroll rather holding up and Joe brand new. Sonoda and Ricciardo now joining in the fun to a certain extent. Which will just add to the frustrations of the Alfa Romeo team because as soon as he gets past Stroll, eventually he's going to have to find himself defending someone from Yuki Tsunoda and then Daniel Ricciardo behind him.
Interesting little battle at Mercedes-Benz over what would be the final place on the podium at the moment. This is a half a pit stop ahead of George time-wise. And if he is two stopping to George's one, they will come together towards the end of the race in terms of nose to tail.
Mercedes say let the drivers race. It's not a strategy decision. Let's let the drivers race. Sounds like a good idea for a Sunday afternoon for me.
The cars can definitely follow better around here than I ever remember, actually. But the DRS is powerful, so not for others. So, take which one on board back set up is a bit of a moment.
Really on the same time from Anderson.
So Max Verstappen came in for a change of tyres on lap 8. It's 24-year-old tyres on. Can you drive through an initial grading phase? Do you think?
In the time, I'll let you do that. Yeah, you phase the service off, and then it starts coming towards you. Your fuel load's going quite well. Sign's going to go down to 8 seconds. Now, that would be, I think, a great motivator for Ferrari to hear that. If it's a true message, and it's not just, not just spinning the yarn there. He sounded duly concerned, didn't he?
Joe against Lance. Lance against Joe. We've seen that battle for a while. Yuki and Daniel joining in the fun too. The cars separated by just 11 seconds as they go to the final chicane. And still hanging on to 9th place where he's finished a couple of times here in Montreal before Lance Stroll starting 17th on both occasions where he started today. He's keeping them all at 8. Head down to you.
I've got an idea for a podcast today. Yeah, Alex Albon and Lando Norris's sad Canadian Grand Prix race stories.
Doesn't sound like a bestseller to me.
Montreal tales of woe with Norris and Albon. So they're running 16th and 17th with some terrible stories of woe for both of them. Albon stops a lap before the second virtual safety car, has tumbled down the order and can't do anything. Do you remember he was P10? He's tumbled down the order, so really got held out. Unlucky under that second virtual safety car. Can't do anything further than that. Lando Norris, we know about the problem with the pit stop and is now behind Alex Albon and can't progress. Even if he could, we don't know how much quicker he could be because of this engine degradation on the McLaren aircraft team. Maybe you want to
We did it.
fill that story in and I'll pick up
Against the Atenza. He drives really well. He's really good. That was super fun. That's why I stuck around and record that one.
That's fresh and engines degrade over time and he's probably losing about 0.2-3 of a second per lap to those with a fresher engine just because his has been used a little bit more.
I thought I did well.
Trainers
Said
today.
if my e-brake slide cut it too close. I may have cut it a little too close with my e-brake slide.
Second of a lap, but I don't use them anymore.
We would have laughed at me more if that's what I had done. I had fun with that race.
3/10 of a second per lap. Norris is
The
down.
Ferrari is the best. I love that Ferrari. I could drive it so much faster too. That was not the cleanest run.
Another idea for a book. What
Said
happened?
yeah, the slide cut it close.
Round Canada by Lewis Hamilton. He's in third place. He's keeping okay with Carlos Sainz on lap time. 1:17 for Sainz, 1:17.7 for Sainz, and 1:17.7 for Hamilton. So yeah, I mean, what happened to Hamilton's worst car I've ever driven round here? It's not going so bad now.
I don't know what he's called his car, Martin. Maybe Lazarus after this.
Well, I'm pretty sure they put George's setup on because they said on Friday we went in completely different directions trying to find something, and yeah, Lewis described it as undrivable.
It was experimental to start with. It was undrivable to finish with, and you're probably right. They've converged into George's setup, and it's doing him rather nicely at the moment. Poor old Joe Quinn, who the strategy that he's been put on sees him behind Lance Stroll lap after lap after lap. And to be fair, Stroll doing a super job for Aston Martin there.
Yeah, hanging on to those tyres nicely up in P9, and Corinne's got more information for us.
Yeah, just watching Charles Leclerc, listening to the radio, he's basically come on and said, I can't do any more, guys. I am stuck behind Ocon. So essentially he's trying to say to them, it's time to finally give up this particular battle, pit. The problem for him, of course, is now he's going to end up, what, 14th, 15th probably by the time they...
And we are thinking plan D. Let me know what you think.
Whatever, I mean, like that, I cannot overtake. It just can't.
Yeah, as I was saying, this is an extension of the conversation I was listening to earlier. So he's absolutely disconsolate at the moment. Well, not just stuck here. And it's going to take a long, long battle for him to come back into the pack.
He'd be behind potentially Sebastian Vettel if he pitted at the moment. Would Charles Leclerc? Being stuck behind an Aston Martin at the moment is perhaps not the way you want to be running this race. Just ask the Alfa Romeo pit wall.
Yeah, and as Lewis's tyres start to fall away, George Russell is putting in his personal best, trying to close that gap. As I said, one of those two Mercedes will, well, I think both of them, there's any problems in front of them, but will be on the podium. It's going to be fascinating to see which one it is.
And at the moment, top step of the podium is heading the way of Max Verstappen. We're only just past half race distance here. And a lot more can happen between now and the checkered flag. 7.5 seconds just under the gap between Verstappen and Sainz as Pierre Gasly pits once more for his second stop in this race. The gap from Sainz back to Hamilton, just under 10 seconds. George Russell, just over 9 seconds, drift of his teammate Lewis Hamilton. Esteban Ocon now starting to settle into a long, lonely afternoon, but running in 5th place, he won't mind that too much. And ahead of
Lap
Charles
38.
Leclerc, who will mind where he finds himself. Ocon is not making any impression on those in front, but he's certainly making an impression on Charles Leclerc for all the wrong
Verstappen
reasons.
7 seconds ahead.
He just can't
Hamilton
get past
third.
him. Alonso managing those tyres to the end of the race, currently 7th. And if it carries on like this, striking distance in 4 laps, Charles Leclerc is going to think about defence rather than offence, as Daniel Ricciardo, for one moment, thinks about a little attack on Yuki Tsunoda and then realises that there's nothing doing going into that final chicane.
Of course, they've got, as I mentioned earlier on, lots of tyres available because we had a very wet day yesterday and a wet qualifying. So Leclerc did 15 laps on the soft tyres on Friday. I don't think they're good for much more than that. It does seem the medium and the hard are actually just better race tyres here, doesn't it? So, but they do have a decent stash of tyres. But a lot of the, I must say, the top dozen on the grid, only most of them had one new set of mediums and no U sets. But Alonso and Ocon had 2 of those, which might come in handy if they need to 2-stop.
It's a bit of a misnomer, isn't it, calling the hard tyre here. When we go to Silverstone in 2 weeks, the hard tyre here is going to be the soft tyre at Silverstone. Pirelli have 5 different types of compound, and depending on how many fast corners and long straights there are, they chop and change it around a bit as we see Esteban Ocon and Charles Leclerc.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Fernando Alonso powering their way down the main straight. Kravitz, you saw them flash past you.
I did, but just another tale of woe at Williams, and that's for Nicholas Latifi, who's had a very slow pit stop, has lost 3 or 4 seconds. A problem on the front. They're having a little debrief about it now with the front jack man.
You got a lot of writing to do next week, Ted Kravitz.
We've got 2 weeks before Silverstone.
Churning out more books than Stephen King.
Ferrari's breathing hard, isn't it? As we saw on the back there. But yeah, it's fascinating. It's surprising just how hard it was breathing out the back. But Ferrari, when Hamilton stops, they might have almost with science a free stop in second place there to come back at Verstappen on some fresh tyre. Presumably Red Bull would respond to that quite quickly. But yeah, Ferrari are going to have to do something different, aren't they? I think for both their drivers at the moment.
The way it's working out, it's looking very nice for Red Bull, and another afternoon of what could have been for Ferrari.
I'll be right back. I'm going to use the restroom for these 2
Just
minutes.
joining us here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. If you're a Sky Q and a Sky Glass customer, press your red button and watch highlights of the race alongside the live action. The live action is Charles Leclerc trying to overtake Esteban Ocon. And I just hesitate for a moment because every single lap he gets close, but not quite close enough. Ocon holding on to 5th place. That Alpine team don't have a top 5 finish this season. Esteban Ocon has a perfect points record in Montreal, but 5th will be his highest finish if he can keep on to that between now and the end of the lap, end of the race. So just wondering how many more pit stops are we looking at here? Who is going to have to come in and who can nurse those tyres towards the end of the race?
What Ferrari don't need is for Ocon, for Leclerc to pit and then end up as a lapped runner having to get out of the way, because he's currently 48.5 seconds behind in a lap that is 77 seconds. They're losing a good second a lap anyway, stuck there. So yeah, it's something they need to be concerned about at Ferrari, not to get themselves caught up in double trouble, as it were.
DRS wide open once again. That 500 more metres a straight would be preferable for Charles Leclerc, as he can't get past. And the trouble is, he's just not getting the exits that Esteban Ocon is getting out of the corners that head towards the straights, and that's why he's about 3 car lengths under the braking zone behind the Alpine.
Sainz now just 6.4 off the lead. Russell pretty much the fastest car out there with his Mercedes at the moment, and just moving forward a little bit there, which is not helpful. Is it stalled?
No, they hadn't quite got the wheel attached, or certainly hadn't got the wheel attached. That was the Latifi Williams pit stop woes that Ted Kravitz is going to be writing about for next week, during the course of next week. Fernando Alonso now just under 2 seconds behind Charles Leclerc. He's just waiting very patiently for his moments.
I think he is. I kind of expected him to cruise straight up to the back of these two fighting, actually, but he is being extremely patient by the looks of it.
They've realised with Alpine that you can get a bit of track position here just by holding back, not getting too close, not overheating things by being too close to the cars in front. And if a safety car comes, then you're going to find yourself lucking into a bit of track position whilst those around you might have to pit. And finally, Charles Leclerc is allowed to come into the pits for a second time, and finally he can do something else in this race other than get stuck behind Esteban Ocon.
Yeah, I mean, he was 21 kilometres per hour, what's that, 15 miles an hour faster down the straight. He was so slow there, it didn't do him any good.
And he's so slow at a pit stop as well that one thing goes wrong after another, and another follows it, and that's about 3 seconds slower in the pit stop than Charles Leclerc would have wanted. And that's going to bring him out into this race, potentially behind Daniel Ricciardo, ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Yeah, he could have been ahead of Ricciardo and Tsunoda, and he now finds himself behind the McLaren.
He was shaking his head, wasn't he, coming out of the pit lane there? I'm sure I saw that. And those 3 seconds, look what it's put him behind.
This is a man, Martin Brundle, who started the race, the season, Charles Leclerc, in brilliant fashion. Won it, then went to Saudi, was second, Australia was first, and then went to the next race and was second there. And bar, Miami, things have started to unravel a bit. He is a championship challenger, and he's finding himself down in 12th.
Understood.
And it's not always his fault. It hasn't been his fault this weekend because he had to take power unit penalties because in 2 of the last 3 races he's retired with power unit problems whilst he's been leading.
Yeah, something I said yesterday, isn't it? It's, you know, it seems unfair. You've lost 25 points because you've got a power unit issue. Then you get started at the back of the field 2 races later because you're taking penalties for changing your power units.
He's got an opportunity here. Verstappen's coming in. Ricciardo's going to try and go the long way around the outside and maybe down the inside of Tsunoda and just gets frustrated. Leclerc was looking at that thinking they might be able to pick up the pieces, but Verstappen is now coming into the pits and Carlos Sainz retakes the lead of this Canadian Grand Prix, and that's a nice for Max Verstappen, 2.5 seconds as he comes out into the first corner. Lewis Hamilton's taking the long way around there. This is going to be pretty tight. Verstappen has the outside line though. Hamilton on the inside. Lewis Hamilton ahead of Max Verstappen. And despite a speedy, rapid pit stop from Red Bull, Hamilton there. Wow, half a foot Martin clear of Max Verstappen. That could be crucial.
You have to assume that Red Bull thought they could clear Hamilton there. So that put a smile on the Ferrari people. Of course, Sainz, his tyres, I mentioned it earlier, were 12 laps younger, but you'd have to think he might still have to stop again. But how much time is Verstappen going to lose now?
I mean, the best thing, the first thing to make the Ferrari people smile this afternoon. And it's a big time. Get up there in front. Didn't have the pace. That did not put a smile on Max Verstappen's face whatsoever, but an overtake on Lewis Hamilton here would certainly help him as he makes his way down the main straight. Hamilton's not fighting this one, he's not defending it, he knows the Red Bull's got a faster pace, and for the moment, Hamilton can come into the pits as well, and Verstappen can get back chasing after Carlos Sainz. So let's see Hamilton's pit stop where he will come back out of this race. I'm looking to see George Russell at the moment. Russell's making his way down the main straights as Hamilton stops at the far end and stops now. Russell goes past him. He's in the long way round the first corner and into turn 6. Getting closer together by the time Hamilton gets back out onto the track. He's into 8 seconds at his stop. But Russell has gone through. He's now into turn 3. Norris has gone through. He has been lapped, and Hamilton back out onto the racetrack in fourth place. So Corinne Chandler down to even Sky Race Control. Hang on 2 seconds. We've got Charles Leclerc on the track. You can see him now behind Yuki Tsunoda on the medium tyre. Charles Leclerc, he's got pace to try and get past the AlphaTauri. That's what he needs, a faster tyre so he can get some overtaking done. And that's exactly what happened there. Leclerc's up to 10th. Corinne, we can go down to you.
So as we speculated, dropped out for that first virtual safety car. He's going to lap in before he gets to the end of the race on that set of tyres. In Carlos Sainz, he's going to try and extend the stint. Ferrari have said to him that he's doing a great job on tyre management. So it's a straight way. Verstappen's got to catch 9.8 seconds and overtake Sainz with 23 laps pressure tyres at the end of this Grand Prix.
Going to be a couple on this then?
Yeah, it's far from over. Verstappen there with a new fastest lap of the race by some margin of 1:16.9. As George, who's been on the radio, says, been saying, can we really get these tyres to the end of the race? Are you sure? The answer is clearly no, because we did.
So, Verstappen pits, Hamilton pits, Russell pits, Sainz to the pits himself. Esteban Ocon making his way to the final chicane. He was the car behind George Russell. Russell's got a lot of distance between Ocon and a pretty much fair amount of distance between himself and Lewis Hamilton too, about 6 seconds as he comes back out onto the track.
So, if Russell can catch Hamilton, it'll be quite interesting. But I think that secures that podium for Hamilton then.
Wouldn't that be quite the recovery? Charles Leclerc has Daniel Ricciardo as the next car. He wants to try and overtake. He's going to try and find somewhere more unusual to make that move stick, and he does that. Make that move stick into turn 8. This was the move on Yuki Tsunoda into that final chicane. So as it stands at the moment, Carlos Sainz leads. Max Verstappen just had a new fastest lap of the race, and in second place, 8.8 seconds behind Sainz, then 20 seconds to Hamilton, and another 7 seconds back to George Russell. 10 down to you. So towards the first corner. Joe Brand-New is passed by Charles Leclerc on the medium tyre now. Charles Leclerc is up into 9th place. Right at the end of that train of cars is Sebastian Vettel in the Aston Martin. He's trying to do 50 laps on a set of hard tyres, but in reverse he stopped on lap 20 to go to the end of the race. And his teammate Lance Stroll, together with Valtteri Bottas, still banging in some decent times, running in 7th and 8th, come after not pitting so far in this race. What could have been for Kevin Magnussen, who had wing damage in the early stages, down in 14th at the moment.
So we are happy for you to push to the end. As I say, just watch your slip for the surface steps, but the wear will not be a limitation.
Because they've obviously had a chance to have a look at the tyres, they've just come on to get a really good reading on those. And if Sainz is going to stay in the keep track position, he'll have to be overtaken.
Charles Leclerc against Lance Stroll to pass Joe Brand-New. He's trying to get past Lance Stroll. Stroll is going to make him go down the inside, and actually Stroll is going to pit. So that's good timing. He's arrived on the scene of the Stroll at about the right time for Charles Leclerc, though he's not going to get held up by him. Stroll manages to pit. Lap 48. It's his first pit stop in this race. Medium compound tyres are going to go on. So a little slower than he would have wanted. 4 seconds that pit stop. And there's that going to throw him back out into this race. Yuki Tsunoda has stopped as well. Stroll will come out around about 13th or 14th. There's still a chance, I think, to get some points out of this race.
And Tsunoda showing a 2.3 stop there. As you can see, he's handiwork. It's not been a great weekend, has it? AlphaTauri and certainly Pierre Gasly's had a race to the end.
Certainly has. Got some yellow flags out on the track. We'll look at this replay of Daniel Ricciardo on Yuki Tsunoda. And that's where we've got yellow flags. And it is Yuki Tsunoda in the AlphaTauri. Now that's surely going to be a virtual safety car or a safety car. And this could be wonderful for Valtteri Bottas, who's just making his way
Said any
towards the
tips
pits now.
to
If
get
he
better on
decides to
wheel
pit,
than
he
stuff on
has, he's
seat.
going to stay out. I think
I have plenty. I have plenty of
still
tips.
racing. We've got yellow flags down in turn 1.
So how long have we been driving with your wheel? Is it just been recent transition?
It's some good timing.
I'd say a big one is
Safety car, and this is absolutely worked in
my
Carlos
personal
Sainz's
preference
favour, 'cause I think he's coming
and
into
my
the pits.
findings from experience is that I had a tendency to turn the wheel too much when I didn't need to because there wasn't enough feedback there for a long time. And now that I run a little more feedback, I find I'm more consistent, so maybe raise your feedback up higher. What wheel do you have? Another question.
Max Verstappen did, and having fresher tyres than Verstappen to run to the end of the race, Verstappen might have just taken the lead here, but Sainz should have less of a gap between himself and the Red Bull driver. Will we go racing once again? And will we go racing once again? But he will have less of a gap, Martin, because the safety car's going to close the pack right down.
Yeah, we rode on his tail, a fresh set of tyres. So that's worked out beautifully for him. He'll cruise up behind Max Verstappen. And be all over his gearbox on the restart.
He certainly will. Oh, this could be quite the race to the end here. Lap 42, Max Verstappen stopped for a change of tyres. Lap 48, Carlos Sainz stopped for a set of tyres. Lewis Hamilton on lap 44 and lap 45 for George Russell. So those behind Verstappen are going to have fresher tyres at the end of this race. Valtteri Bottas is going to come into the pits. Esteban Ocon now makes his way into the pits for his second stop. Take quite an advantage here by hanging on, and hanging on. They're going to have much fresher tyres to go to the end of this race, and it's going to get quite racy for the last 15 laps or so by the time they clear that car.
Absolutely. So Alonso, Bottas, and Ocon then. Alonso, Bottas, I should say 5, 6, and 7 all pitted. So did Joe and Ricciardo. And a few teams reacting to their main rivals now as we head towards the closing stages.
Max Verstappen just way down the back straight.
Brian, we can hang out and discuss this like one-on-one as well. If you send me a message on Instagram or PSN, we can hang out and do some work together
The safety cars worked out well.
and see what kind of issues I might be able to pinpoint and
Waiting
work
for
on with you.
I got it.
It's all about breaking down problems, man. Like you figure out like what is the root causes, root factors. Could be your rig, could be other stuff, could be anything. It's holding you back.
Came into the pits again.
It comes to
Fresh set of tyres. See when nursing a set. Doesn't need to nurse these ones. He's going to get quite racy. Valtteri Bottas, who's in 8th place at the moment, has just changed his tyres too. And for his teammate Joe Guan Yu, who's currently in 10th. For Lance Stroll as well, who's just outside the points with a fresh set of tyres too. And this is what happened for Yuki Tsunoda. Just didn't
No, I think he got in too hot though, and he looked the right front. It was steamy down there, had a great pit stop at the end. It looked like a good opportunity for him to make up a place or two. And I think he just got a little bit hot in there. There may have been a technical issue, but he looked like he was moving on when he got there.
in the safety car. Max Verstappen behind him, Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton. That's the top three in this race, occupying the podium places at the moment. Will it stay that way between now and the checkered flag? If you're just joining us, learn what's happened with the Canadian Grand Prix so far. You can press your red button if you're a Sky Q or a Sky Glass customer. To watch the live action, you can be watching the highlights as well. Career best finish, Carlos Sainz, second. He has finished second in Italy in 2022, in Monaco 2021, and this year as well. Also in Bahrain. Does he fancy his chances for a potential race win here today? I'm sure he does. Well, I can't wait to get this race going. Ted Crabb, it's down to you.
In the meantime, yeah, let me tell you about some other drivers. Sebastian
It's
Vettel.
not going to be tails of blows.
No, don't worry.
Last two times we've been down to you. It's a bit of a downer.
Story of my life. That's my life. So hang on, Ted. Lots of replays.
Safety car deployed, Max. Safety car deployed. Dash positive, dash positive. Science is in.
I haven't done a full lap in this view in a long time in a car. Usually don't like this view. So many like technicals like this.
Keep working those fronts, and we want high pressure events. How many cars will get in front of us when we stop?
There will be 3 cars. 3 cars.
So just keep on your delta. If we stop, Sebastian, what would you do? Flap, please. Flap just. Go up. Open your wrist, gonna flap now. So give me some information, guys. Flap's already stopped, so should be a threat for him. He's currently in P7.
Ted, someone came up with a novel idea of giving you right there by putting a whole load of team
No, this is a new idea back on TV. Team Radio, no, I love it. Yeah, great stuff. Right, yes, Sebastian Vettel so stayed out, but was struggling with his tyres before, and now is in P9, so he's got the track position ahead of Joe Guan Yu. He'll still be struggling with his tyres after Lando Norris and Alex Albon both stopped again. And, well, maybe rejoin in that same position, 15th Albon, Norris 16th. But Daniel Ricciardo, let's talk about him for a bit, Crofty. Running just on the outskirts of the top 10, he did stop just under that safety car, so he's P11, but has also been reporting bad handling on the tyres. There's McLaren, let's see McLaren next to him.
Pace to the others. Yes, a bit more up there, guys. So yeah, we are matching the leaders. In fact, corrected. Yeah, you're one of the fastest guys out there. I think that's pushing too hard on the new tyre. No, I think with this safety car, that's just going to buy us margin, so we should be good to the end. It's got a shorter stint than that first hard tyre. Plus we've got this safety car to reset everything.
clear in sector one. They've got the AlphaTauri removed, so this might be the last lap behind the safety car. And the first
full
time
one
we've got a
in
safety
now.
car deployed on anything other than the first lap or the last lap here in Canada since 2011, when Jenson Button was celebrating and Karun Chandler and I and Martin Brundle and David Coulthard were shivering in their commentary box by the final chicane. Karun, down to you.
Oh, the memories Crofty of that holiday. Those lap cars are now being asked to overtake. So it's been really interesting listening to the radio of Verstappen, Sainz and Lewis here, because the record have come to Max and said Hamilton has gone pace. When was the last time this season? I don't think we've had that all the season where the other team think that Mercedes are in with enough pace to at
riding.
I think this is going to boil down to a pretty tasty end to this race.
Yeah, and you've got Ocon and Alonso as well. This played into Ocon's hands, so he's now on fresh tyres, same as his teammate, but ahead of Fernando Alonso, who started on the front of the grid. So what will the teams do now? It'll be Hamilton and Russell fighting each other, Ocon and Alonso as well. Will they be allowed to race? Has Sainz, with drag reduction system rear wing open, got enough straight line speed to pass the Red Bull? They've certainly got the Ferrari closer to Red Bull recently.
Probably going to be a risk of the guys on that. It's up the tyre.
I know, we think you've got pace.
It's been a tyre, Martin, that has seen a drop in pace during this race, and it does go a bit longer.
I think psychologically when it's painted white, you think it's going to be slow, don't you? As there's 5 compounds to go out, as you pointed out, and to pick up on a couple of things, just keep positive on your delta, your earliest time of arrival at various points around the track, to make sure you're not going too fast under the safety car, which is in this lap, and then high pressure moments that George was after. I would imagine that is, if you're gonna put your brakes on plenty, don't drag the brakes, press the brakes.
Safety car ending then, coming in at the end of this lap, where those that have been able to unlap themselves might join up to the end of the pack, and will certainly have the more tyres and brakes if they do manage to join up to the end of the pack.
Absolutely, but you're not allowed to do. Remember when Max was hustling Lewis in the finale in Abu Dhabi last year? You're not allowed to go up alongside your rival and stop. You can be offset from them, but you've got to be behind them.
So not like in Abu Dhabi, Max Verstappen been quite happy at that this time around, because he's the guy out in front. He doesn't want to hustle. So you look, there goes the safety car. Max is doing is slowing down now, letting my landing get out of the way.
Like Carlos must be right on his gearbox if he wants a chance here over the next few laps. So cannot afford to let Max get a few car lengths by catching them up.
6 times in the past we've had main Grand Prix winners here in Montreal. Carlos Sainz wants to be a magnificent 7th for this afternoon. Max Verstappen has won 25 times in Formula 1 before, but never here in Montreal. Lewis Hamilton has got 7 Canadian Grand Prix wins on this track, and George Russell waiting for his first win in Formula 1, as is Esteban Ocon. That's the state of the top 5.
And we're keeping an eye on the Alpines you're just mentioning, because they're on the medium, brand new medium compound tyres.
As is Leclerc and Bottas as well, and we are now going green. And it's Verstappen want to release the rest of the pack right out of the final chicane, and Carlos Sainz has gone right with him as well. Verstappen leads it then down towards the first turn. Fernando Alonso right on the heels of his teammate Esteban Ocon, as Verstappen leads Sainz, leads Hamilton, then leads Russell, Ocon and Alonso through those first couple of corners. Charles Leclerc right behind Fernando Alonso, then comes Bottas, Vettel and Joe Guan Yu. That's the top 10. The rest of the pack all caught up to the top 10. So Magnussen, Stroll, Gasly, they're all racing ahead to Verstappen, the leader, ahead of Carlos Sainz. He's just starting to pull away a little bit. Needs to get out of any DRS threat in these next couple of laps, and he's doing a decent job of that, Martin.
Yes, Sainz really needs a few good corners here. The DRS will not be enabled, of course, for 2 laps after a safety car. So Sainz must stay within a second a lap over these next 2 laps.
Lap 55 of 70, and we hurtle down towards the hairpin. Verstappen's already out of it, as is Sainz, and Hamilton and Russell now behind. That wasn't a very good exit by Sebastian Vettel, and he's got Joe Guan Yu right on his tail. And Joe Guan Yu, the rookie this season, up against a full-time world champion, going down that back straight. Verstappen into the main straight he goes. Joe Guan Yu wants to go around the outside. He's not going to do that. Vettel's got too much top speed, and Alfa Romeo has spent most of the race behind an Aston Martin. It was Lance Stroll. It's now Sebastian Vettel.
And Verstappen has got the opening pace at this 0.8 ahead already, and Lewis Hamilton comfortably staying in 3 seconds.
Yeah, Russell wants to get a bit clear there of Esteban Ocon. Charles Leclerc is right on Fernando Alonso's tail, and the top 10 separated by only 6.8 seconds in these early skirmishes after the safety car. It's the magic second that Max Verstappen's trying to break, but Carlos Sainz is staying within that currently. That'll take effect on the very next lap. Hamilton, Russell, Ocon then completing the top 5. Charles Leclerc is right in the hunt if he can find some top speed to get past Fernando Alonso. Trouble for him, Alonso's also on the speedier medium tyre. So what can Leclerc do as we right on board now with the Ferrari down that back straight? He looks like he's got decent pace on these medium tyres compared to that Alpine. If he had DRS, I dare say he'd be past Alonso already, but he hasn't got it. Martin, he's got to stick behind him for a little bit longer.
I agree with you. Next time around, if he can release off the hairpin better with these tyres, and Sainz then puts in the fastest lap of the Grand Prix to stay within a second, but only just. We've got a good race at the front there. Former teammates, of course, Verstappen and Sainz at Red Bull, at Toro Rosso, actually, it was called.
As Joe Guan Yu gets past Sebastian Vettel, moves up into 9th place. Alex Albon gets past Pierre Gasly, and Lance Stroll gets past Kevin Magnussen. 3 moves on a single lap here. In a single lap, we look towards the front. Sainz is going to start to get some DRS here to try and get back at Max Verstappen. He's got fresher tyres as well. Battle very much on out in the front as we see how Joe Guan Yu got past Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah, he gets the extra helping of DRS down, and Seb quite early on the brakes there actually, and relatively straightforward around the outside.
So, to the back straight we go. And Carlos Sainz
Vettel getting overtaken by a rookie, man.
wide open. Max Verstappen out in front, sees the Ferrari gaining towards him, and there's almost half a car length between them as they go through the chicane. Out of it we come now. Is there enough straight here for Carlos Sainz to make a move on Max Verstappen? Probably not as they get into turn 1. But where can Verstappen find a way to defend down that long back straight, I wonder? Sainz is in a great position here.
He is. Well, Sainz will be preparing his battery for a maximum attack down the back straight, and Verstappen for maximum defence. It did appear to me that if Sainz can get close enough out of the turn 10 here,
Kaboom.
he might just have enough top
Said
speed
you,
to get
bro.
through.
George Russell has broken
Getting
away
ready for
somewhat
work.
from Esteban Ocon.
Wanted to
He's got
drop
his
in
teammate
and
Fernando
drop a
Alonso.
like.
I love to see it. I love to see it. Thank you, Kaboom. Thank you so much. You know I'm being here. I got a whole week off work, Kaboom. There's nothing I want to do more than just stream as much as I, can handle, essentially. Back like the old days. There have been times in the past I streamed like a madman, like 20-hour streams, 20 plus. We don't need to do all that, but I'll put in my shift every day that I can the next week or so that I got off work. Today's the first weekend that I didn't have to get up on Saturday. I have nothing to do tomorrow except work in the afternoon. That is a welcome extra $200. But I'll be streaming all morning, so the new daily races I get to stream and be in. Occasionally stream, or his daily race video, Kai's stream a daily race video.
Yeah. So
I'll get to race all these guys tomorrow.
I'd imagine on that lap.
Looking forward to it.
Getting ready for attack on the next lap. It is Sainz. So can Sainz take his first Grand Prix victory? Will Verstappen hang on?
What is his 150th race weekend appearance? It's a 149th start for Carlos Sainz. Yet to win, of course. It will be his second longest wait on the Formula One stats behind Sergio Perez. That is Fernando.
I can run that same time with the Ferrari. Should I try it with the Ferrari? Just an easy way to crash.
Yeah, damn dear on the brakes there, wasn't he, Charles Leclerc? But
We're trying to win this race, no matter what.
The old wise head that he is.
I've already got one win in the Ferrari, and then I could go for it again. I'm sure I can do it.
I said it's 150th race weekend appearance for Carlos
It wasn't
Sainz.
easy. It was very uneasy,
Max
actually.
Verstappen. He's
Remember
at
in
25
the,
wins, 25 second places. He spent a third of his
the
career
Degners,
finishing in the top
the
10.
Ferrari
Where's he
wasn't
going
so
to finish
comfortable.
today? Here goes Sainz then, down that back straight, gaining on Verstappen, gaining on Verstappen, gaining on Verstappen.
Said
Underbraking.
nice.
Is he going to be too far back
Have an
this time?
awesome
He
week
is.
off of work. I had to cut my stream to 1 day a week.
He's going to have to think
Can't
it through.
afford to
He's gotta
stream
prepare
3
it.
days a week
But
anymore.
Max is more
Life is
than
getting
mature enough, more
expensive.
than calm enough.
I feel you, man.
Goes straight on.
At one point, I was
Rejoins the
working
track
like
the
6
right way,
a.m. to
won't
8
get a
p.m. every
penalty,
single day,
but
still
he's,
streaming.
lost a place
All
to
through
Esteban
March
Ocon,
and
by
beginning
going
of
straight
April,
on
and then I
at the
needed like another
chicane.
like 4 weeks to like
just
recover from
outbraking
that. So
himself somewhat there.
it's
And
tough to
Tim, we go
balance it
down to
out.
you.
potentially an engine problem for Fernando Alonso. Ferrari have been telling Leclerc that they think Alonso is slow ahead with an engine problem. So they must be looking at GPS traces.
I would get home at 8 p.m. and stream till past midnight every day. Full dedication. Things were going well, so motivated.
Back axle locked under downshift.
Should I take the Ferrari?
He was trying to make he hasn't lost a position in that, and he didn't gain. He didn't gain a lasting advantage, as it's known in the regulation.
The top two are pulling themselves clear and a bit further clear of Lewis Hamilton, currently in third place. George Russell stays in fourth. Then comes Esteban Ocon, Charles Leclerc, Alonso, Bottas, Joe and Ricciardo. Ricciardo's got past Vettel. Charles Leclerc at the hairpin, we can see his teammate further on down that straight. He's closer, Carlos
Said,
Sainz.
keep on hustling, Braca.
I definitely will try.
To keep Carlos Sainz.
This is my favorite hustle right here.
Curve there for Sainz, got
I get to
away with
just
it.
sit and race, watch
He's
F1.
closer, isn't he, down this straight to Max
This
Verstappen.
is stuff I want to do at work when I'm at the other job. I just don't want to do this.
To make the Verstappen is having a rather busy
Ferrari time,
to this race.
because I can't just be unchallenged. I gotta go for it.
So good for him.
Again, the Red Bull complaining
Warm
a
up
bit
on
under
it a little
traction there in turn 3. Sainz looking very feisty.
This is
At some point today, I'm going to take a break from him, and then I'm going to come back to him again in the evening.
The move there by Leclerc is having a much better end to this race than he had for the first 3 quarters, and he's now up into 5th place.
In the slipstream in
Said, same with me. I love streaming.
He's just going to get close enough. He's going to get a bit tidier.
I love competing with the best guys. And tomorrow morning, hopefully around 7 a.m., 8 a.m. at the latest, I'm going to go and join the
Carlos has decided
European daily race lobby and try to get a bunch of videos going on YouTube. But most importantly, get that competition at the end. The best guys are all going to be the fastest cars in the world.
He's chasing down Verstappen because it's not quite going his way. Here in Canada, at lap 61, we're on and completing another lap 62 begins. It's still just a few.
If I'm on the grid in the right spot, I might be.
Decides to try and make up on Max Verstappen as they head through the first few corners.
He loves to shout me out. They all know of me. So I'll get shout outs when I do it. I did it last week. Last Monday, I had to call out of work for my party. I got to do it.
wasting time. Patiently,
Oh, this car's
his
really
mirrors
long.
and realizing the Ferrari is not quite close enough so far.
Lewis Hamilton, his car has just not been there for him so far this season. If you come to Montreal and George Russell has a good performance over Lewis Hamilton, that's where you start
Go
to
ahead
get
and disqualify me.
today. He's shown a track that he absolutely loves, that he's still very much got
Gabon
the
operator.
hunger and the desire and
Said
the
it
ability.
shows, bro.
He just needs the car.
You're one of the
underneath him a little
fastest
bit more
streamers
often.
out there.
No DRS this time around for Carlos Sainz. Verstappen's put in a very nice lap
Thank you
here.
for that.
Was 4/10 quicker than Carlos Sainz during the first sector, and that's helped him out of that DRS threat. As Sainz's best chance come and gone, I wonder. He's got a bit of DRS on that straight, but he needs it down the back straight.
Yeah, he's got to just tidy up, but because he's in the turbulent air coming off the back of the Red Bull, but Carlos needs a bit more precision so he can just carry some more speed through turns like this, 3 and 4. That was nice.
Just looking to see where the battles are at the moment whilst we concentrate on the top two. Lance Stroll is right on Daniel Ricciardo's tail. He's changed his tyres, he's on the medium, Ricciardo on the hard, and he's a threat for Ricciardo for that final points position as it stands currently. Back on board we go with Carlos Sainz. Rode the curve beautifully on the exit of the chicane there.
Gabon
Maybe too
operator.
hard.
Make the donuts, make the
Said
donuts.
alright, time to make the donuts. I turned them on.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got to protect
Said
it.
the boom waiting hand.
We'll see you later, bro. I'm trying to get this Ferrari win. I gotta be so careful on my throttle here while I'm watching F1. Boom, before you go to Alto, how is the sound mix between F1 and the game sound? Is the game sound drowning out F1? Can you hear F1 commentary?
Said, oh, the Ferrari again. Gabon operator. Said, hi, Alto.
Sebastian Vettel, Stroll's teammate's going to get investigated for a safety car infringement. takes that 10th place and moves up into the points. Can he get 9th for a third time? It is
Said you/me actually a little quiet.
17th on the grid to mine.
I
We'll see by the time we get to the check.
Said the race I can hear in the background.
Max Verstappen still has Carlos Sainz right behind him. They know each other so well, former teammates, of course.
Said good to see you, the boom waiting
Experiencing
hand.
pressure and a lot of stress at this moment. I dare say Max Verstappen is smiling at the battle that he's currently in.
And from 6th through to 9th,
Said I can hear the race and the game fine.
to put both of the Alpines on those medium compound tyres under pressure.
Fernando Alonso with engine issues as well as Ted Kravitz told us a few moments ago that's rather curtailed his progress in this race. Currently down in 7th, Charles Leclerc running in 5th. He's got 3 seconds behind George Russell, but not making enough of an impression lap after lap to try and get past George Russell. It's the sort of that his teammate Carlos Sainz is experiencing in his battle with Max Verstappen.
Verstappen's got a measure of when the Ferrari's quick now, hasn't he? What he needs to do to defend Hamilton very much, keeping them in the view. He's dropped Russell by 4.5 seconds, and Leclerc pretty much out on his own now. And in P5, the safety car finally worked treatment in there.
Said good to see you too, Alto.
Bottas and Joe, a new fight.
Said, so are you doing any racing today, Kaboom?
Between them.
Absolutely, twice in history.
Said okay guys, peace.
Three have been second by a last lap pass in 1990. Nelson Piquet got past Stefan to win here in Montreal, and George Jensen won in 2011. A last lap pass there as well, and a genuine overtake for the lead of this race. We've seen Nigel Mansell bring down, of course, on the last lap. He was waving to the crowd to celebrate.
How is this other guy like a mile ahead?
Not until next Saturday.
Confused how he got there.
Time to try and get back in the lead, and at the moment,
Said grinning face waving hand.
I started first, so how did this guy get first? What happened there,
Said
guy?
darn disappointed face.
laps to go now, half a second between himself and the race leader.
I think Sainz is doing a rip off of his eyes and got the pit straight there. And he's got the bit between his teeth.
How did I get into third, guys? You tell me. Go back to the stream.
Calm. He's calm with the out front, isn't he?
He does that, maybe we're getting more agitated in the commentary boxes. It's the sort of finish we want to see.
Said Rassify.
Second, with Verstappen beat Leclerc in Saudi Arabia was the closest finish. We might be able for something similar as we go on board now with the Alpine.
Get some update. I think you stay where we are. Just a straight line issue.
Yeah, we'll give it with a straight line issue.
Said I think your dad props bro for driving a Ferrari.
They were going for it.
Stay there.
How many times?
He's driving a little better than this, I think. Save a little better fuel. Better
They're
pace.
saying, well, if you're going to do it, you're going to have to do the overtake. You stay exactly where you are, because if we swap them around, chances are Robin is going to lose out to Bottas. So that's the trouble they got to. Team orders aren't going to work out in Alpine.
How did Wicked get in first, though? I'm asking.
Never going to happen.
I don't understand how he got there.
Sainz and Verstappen on the edge of my seat down in the pit lane. I'm standing up. So yeah, no, absolutely loving it. Just looking down to the Ferrari people. They're thinking about anything they can do. Just any advice, press the overtake button. It's just in that last sector that we're
Said it Kaboom operator. Grinning face waving hand.
sector it seems. So Verstappen has got the margin when they come down to the World Champions. World Champions. That might be something. Might be quickly. Verstappen is a world champion. I know you were just about to say it. Carlos Sainz isn't, but yeah, they're just winning him on at the Ferrari pit wall. There's nothing more they can do. I'm loving this. What are you saying, Ted? At this time last year, Verstappen would have been fine because he wasn't a champion. Now he is a champion. It's a threat to Champions Magnet.
Said I don't see anyone else fast at driving the Ferrari, only my man.
They're all scared.
In a gift shop.
It is really scary to be fair.
Street next year. Here we go again then. On lap 67, only a few more laps to go. Carlos Sainz has got DRS. Max Verstappen has had it covered. Carlos Sainz has got top speed. Max Verstappen hasn't covered.
Yeah, he's got enough traction.
How did Wicked get into first?
As Verstappen to keep it where it needs it. You're not going to outbreak.
Did he start first? Am I blind?
Into turn one because it basically a road zone for turn two really rather than
Said definitely thumbs up.
So he's fast enough in all the right places. It's Verstappen at the moment.
Carlos Sainz has had this sort of view before, hasn't he, Martin? I remember back to when he was behind Pierre Gasly right at the end. He chased Gasly down and had a second for a second place. He's a man who's had 4 second place finishes in the past. It might be 5 here today. Red Bull on course for a 6th win in a row, a 6th consecutive victory for Red Bull. They've only ever done that once before, but Sebastian Vettel won 9 in a row back in 2013. Not finished this race yet, and dare say he is closer, Carlos Sainz. Just thinking there for a moment, he's on a much better exit. He has got fresher tyres than Max Verstappen. Is he hoping that they'll pay dividends coming into the final stages of this race? And he is getting closer down that main straight, but he's not quite close enough. But we get to 100 metres, Max Verstappen is just tantalisingly still a few metres ahead, and this straight here is just not enough for Sainz to get past.
Carlos took a bit too much curve on the way into 13 there, which you had to wait for the car to stop jumping around. Just a little bit of time. He's just Max was slightly wider on the turn 10 hairpin there, and that's what put Sainz onto his curve onto the still not enough.
Elsewhere, out on the track, Bottas and Joe still chasing after Fernando Alonso. Alonso impatient, trying to get past Esteban Ocon and to hold station with his teammate there and use the DRS that he's got to keep that 7th place forward. Charles Leclerc, recovery drive for him. Ferrari were targeting the top 4. He's going to have to settle for 5th here. And the way it stands at the moment, Mercedes on for 4th and 3rd, which will be a brilliant return for them over the course of this weekend. Hamilton on course for a return to the podium, and that'll put a great smile on his face, especially after all the pain he took 7 days ago in Baku. 10G impacts on his back during the course of that race. The Ferrari is bouncing down the main straight once again. Sainz, half a second behind Max Verstappen, is still pressurising the race leader and going after the winner as we enter now the final lap of this race. Red Bull lost a race here before on the final lap. Sainz is still within touching distance.
Yeah, he just had a cracking exited Sainz out of the final chicane.
We're close there. I gotta get out of map 1 in that corner. Shouldn't have been in map 1.
These two are so much in this last phase of the Grand Prix. They've been so fast, pushing each other along.
I don't even need to say fuel. I have more fuel than I need right now.
It's absolutely enthralling this. It is brilliant to watch. Verstappen and Sainz accelerating each other. Clear of the pack since the safety car. And Verstappen holding up and coping with all the pressure. And Sainz has been able to throw his way, as you would expect from a man that was controlling this race in earlier stages. Sainz has been leading this race, but the Red Bull has had the pace over them today. And we've seen a really decent Canadian Grand Prix. And it's a Canadian Grand Prix that unless Carlos Sainz can do something about it now, it's going to go Red Bull's way. But he looks like, and he is, an awful lot further behind on this lap than he has been on other laps. So maybe Max Verstappen can just start to relax and to rest a little bit as
I let it go. I was killing my tires that whole time. I think I still might have this even if I have that incident. The Cindy was not that far away. Can't make another mistake though. No more mistakes. Might still have it. Hopefully the tires survive. Alonso 7th understanding on the front row. Bottas, great recovery drive and points for a 2nd time in his career for Joe Vernieu ahead of Lance Stroll completing the top 10.
Great race, enjoyed that. Fine driving at the end there. One of the biggest stories I think today is how fast the Mercedes.
Look at my tires right there.
Really, we saw in Barcelona, didn't we, to an extent. It looked horrendous on Friday here, but they leading pace pretty much all of that Grand Prix.
Take a breather now after the end of that race. That is the checkered flag, Max. Oh, what an end.
Well done, mate. I'm not sure you can hear us. We can't hear you, but that was amazing. Withstood all the pressure. Brilliant, brilliant drive.
Save yourself for the interviews, Max. We can't hear you, mate. That's Chris
cleaned up. Good job. Yeah, it's been everything there. No, you just cut the whole.
Thanks. Tim Lotto to Carlos Sainz against the fastest lap of the day. So Ferrari managed to take a point off Red Bull there. Verstappen though will increase his championship lead because however well Charles Leclerc did to recover after those power unit penalties dropped him to the rear of the grid, 5th place only. Charles Leclerc of course taking on a little bit worse than that.
Great stuff. That was great stuff. That's P3, mate. Well deserved podium. Really awesome.
Great effort, guys. Thank you so much. That was a little bit today. Really got something here. Let's keep pushing.
It's very different Lewis Hamilton, isn't it?
He's energised. But in the last week, with that E7, having started on the front, momentum behind his teammate, the engine grip minimums.
Yeah, there were a lot of those stories, one of them including Checo Perez, who after his qualifying crash yesterday was out of this race with a mechanical problem.
Max on the race.
After starting the race with a the championship lead, the championship leader went into the stand for another win, and it's 6 wins in a row now for Red Bull this season. And for Max Verstappen, the first win here in Canada to add to his victories this year in Baku, in Azerbaijan, in Spain, in Miami, in Imola, and in Bahrain, and in Saudi Arabia too.
Charles said Hyperbole.
Wins today.
Kubu may have left already, Charles.
We lost from this race. So then crashed out of San Checo Perez, as I mentioned, Mick Schumacher. Mentioned there's a lot for Mick Schumacher, his teammate Kevin Magnussen sustained brain damage when Lewis Hamilton got close in the opening stages. Magnussen finished last in this race. Nicholas Latifi is leading the championship. He'll take his role of never finishing last in another race. Max Verstappen can finally take thanks to his team boss because he doesn't need the radio now. Lando Norris had a mix up at the second pit stop. He was waiting for his tyres and then was Gasly wasn't hitting right from the outset. Alex Albon had a pit stop, I think, as well. Sebastian Vettel is going to see the stewards for possible safety infringement. Fernando Alonso was over the straight, just to let you know. And as you say, Daniel Ricciardo, sadly for him, not being in either. Ted Kravitz and the Ted's no more. All the details circulating.
Yeah, I think that's about the last lap, isn't it? For Fernando Alonso and the weaving through the election. And he came off it, which is charging.
Carlos Sainz and Max Verstappen having a conversation. Time they have a chat now to the race winner here in 2011, Jensen Button.
Congratulations, Max. That was a hard-fought victory. It looked in the beginning that it was looking a bit easier for you, but that safety car at the end, when you're under a bit of pressure, Carlos.
Yeah, the safety car didn't help. I think overall,
Tires are
very
gone.
quick in the
By the
race,
way.
so it would have been really tough for me to close that gap to the end, even on fresh tires. But yeah,
I shouldn't look down
really
at them.
exciting at
They'll
the end.
make me
I was
scared.
giving it everything I had. Of course, Carlos is doing the same. You know, following his
Lost
track
a lot of time
earlier,
right
he was
there in that
pushing,
one area.
pushing. But of course, actually, when you're on the DRS, it's a bit easier to charge. So yeah, the last few laps were a lot of fun.
I guess you were very thankful for the straight line speed of the Red Bull round here.
Yeah, luckily this year we seem pretty quick on the straight, so that helps a lot.
The strategy looked very tricky, I think, to really understand what you should do with the virtual safety cars. Obviously, you stopped very early in the race. We're looking towards the two-stop. Were you ever worried that you weren't able to catch up with
I
Carlos?
mean, overall, I think they were very strong in the race. So yes, it would have been tricky to catch
everything with the battery. I tried everything with Max, but we just didn't have enough base delta, you know, to get him close enough in the hairpin to then get him a bit out of line into the chicane. But yeah, the positive thing is that we were quicker, we were faster on race. It's just that little bit more to overtake around here.
It must give you confidence, though. The last couple of races haven't been the easiest for yourself or Ferrari to come here and have that speed and be fighting for a victory.
Yeah, I'm particularly happy with the race pace, with the way we managed to put pressure on Max during the whole race, and you know, timing the pit stops I think was right. Honestly, we tried everything, and we were very, very close to winning today. So I will take the positives and yeah, keep trying in the next one. Cheers. Thanks, guys.
It's great to see a smile on your face. I know it's not
Losing
been
a lot of
the
time
easiest year for you. After years of dominance, it must have been tough, but today, this is a good step forward for you, isn't it?
How you going, Montreal? We've got such an awesome crowd here this weekend. It's quite overwhelming, honestly, to get this third place. It's been such a battle this year with the car and as a team, but we continue to stay vigilant and focused and never giving up, and that's something I'm so proud of and inspired by my crew. So thank you to everyone that's here and back at the factory. They're a little bit too quick for us at the moment. I was giving it everything, but we're getting closer. So we just got to keep pushing, and eventually, hopefully, we'll be in the fight with these guys.
But even the shift from Friday to today seems to be big. I mean, Friday you were saying it's on drive on, it looked like, especially on entries. But today, you had them in your sights. Obviously, they had a bit of pace on you, but you can still see them in the end.
I could just about see him in the end. Thanks for the safety car, but yeah, honestly, it was our pace was quite good, particularly in the second phase of the sim, and we did a lot of work back in the simulator, but also here to get the setup right. So I'm honestly ecstatic. I think, as I said, didn't expect this coming into the weekend. It's my second podium of the year, so this feels really special, especially in where I got my first Grand Prix win. I love it here in Montreal, so big thank you to all the Canadians.
Lastly, how's the back feeling?
It's good. I'm back to being young.
Fantastic.
Cheers.
Congrats.
Cheers.
And we'll carry on the talking and round up the Canadian Grand Prix here on Sky Sports F1. Viewers of Sky Sports main event, the driving might be over here in Montreal. Driving of a different kind. The final round of the US Open. Sky Sports main event. We'll head over to Portland now. Lewis Hamilton. This time last week we were talking about the back. 7 days later, maybe he is back.
He certainly was back in that race to the end, and good to see the Mercedes, whether they understand why, because they said we just don't know. Really makes this car work, doesn't today. But I think now that the FIA is starting to put pressure on the teams to start measuring this virtual away from the pulsing, then we're going to hear a lot less about it. We're not going to hear so much more.
Let's hear these two standard songs.
I'm working.
Has now made his way into the car room. Sadly, I don't think the sound is working. There you go.
I couldn't see you after a while. You're in a... I was like, where is he?
The sound again. It's a shame.
Said awesome drift coming down into that hard right-hander sweeping face.
To sport the track and during the celebrations.
How did I not crash? And how did Hightesh win? Did he hit? I feel like him and the Wicked guy had weird things happen.
Away from the podium since the opening race of the season.
How did I get third? Makes no sense. Maybe he dosed off? I don't know. He is in the BRZ, so he probably did. And the Wicked guy, where did he come from? He started in the Beetle.
Antonio said your tires were gone, and he still had a hell of a time passing you, my man. Thumbs up.
Was that a super bug start or what? I'm going back in the stream and Wicked started 5th. And by the time we were going through the line, he teleports.
Luis Oval said I like the Italia, wish it was more meta.
Look at that. Go back in the stream to like 22 minutes ago. Look at this. You see it. Look at the Beetle. Watch the Beetle. That's off the start. I'm still in the screen. You seen that?
Altonimal said WTF.
Well, now that F1 is done, I guess we'll do another one, but I'm definitely going to use the BRZ this time. I'm like wasting points not taking it. Should I try to set a new quality time? I knew that it was difficult for me earlier in the week to go faster.
Altonimal said that's very strange, Grove.
Very strange, very strange. He still couldn't capitalize on me.
Said I'm wondering if people have figured out a way to hack the game. Said has AWD always dominated GT
Turbo
Sport?
Hole, what's up?
Turbo.
My G, what's going on?
Said what's up, Groove, my G. Hello chat, victory hand flexed biceps.
Good to see you. I won't bite again. Oops. I'll edit that part out later.
Said Turbo Hulk waving hand.
I was just doing the Nürburgring earlier, Turbo Hulk. Had a nice time with Nürburgring earlier.
Said just chilling, kid, fall asleep, so time to rest and chill, haha. Turbo Hulk said hey, Alto victory hand.
Nice to hear that, Turbo Hulk. A moment to relax and enjoy my stream.
About to roll a fat one and watch you dance your flex biceps.
Very nice.
Said,
What a Sunday
so
you're
bored
having.
with GT7 ATM. Said LOL, those moments are good thing turbo.
I think I went deep into Degner too. Release the brake too early. Oh, perfect chicane thing, whatever you want to call that chicane. Are you gonna disqualify me if I go to the skid path? Coming in hot.
Said that was badass growth.
I'll do it during the race if I get ahead. Not with the Ferrari, apparently. Didn't get ahead far enough. I could have won that Ferrari race, man. I can do a 20-24 with the Ferrari no stop, but I made mistakes. With this car, I shall not lose today. Unless someone really talented wants to. In which case, I'll try to raise my game.
Said, LOL, you should do TT like that 15 seconds bonus rolling on the floor laughing.
There's another little chicane right there. This game is just full of like false threats. Like, stop threatening me, game, with your red letters and mean tag. Oh, I'm beat off the start, but Germano's in the M6.
Said to me the BRZ doesn't stop as well as the Mustang.
Boom dia. Hermano, he's German. He's a German Brazilian. What is this donut suggested video? I can't look at Nicolas Cage's face like this. Sitting there on the bottom. There you go, chat. The BRZ doesn't stop as well as the Mustang? That could be true. Could be true. Buenas, he said. Buenas.
Said, someone diving folks garbage.
You don't like the Beetle? It's just a car. It's not as good as it was.
Said I'm not a Volkswagen guy at all.
not on great pace right now.
Said you were playing too much with fuel mixture trough, C-stain 6, and dump fuel on straights. I'm hitting constant 2.01 flats.
I'll try to make it cleaner.
Said it's compromising your lines.
We did a 20:03 at some point in the week, and I was wondering what like a good time from EMEA was. I never really saw one that fast, but it was only on Monday that I did EMEA. So what's like the best total time you've seen?
Said turbo
This
thumbs
car?
up. Said my total best is 20.19.
Did you not use the BRZ out of like disdain for it?
Said, but I stay mixed 6 trough Cs.
I did a crazy run where I had all 59s the
Said
whole way.
yes with BRZ.
And the BRZ and really good fuel saving pace. And I did a 03. 03. It was a really good run. As good as it gets. I don't know how much more was left in that. Maybe 5 seconds more for someone faster. I'm trying to recreate that now, but we're making mistakes.
Said that would be an on fire run, Grove. Thumbs up.
You can go watch it. I was streaming it. It's hard to believe that I did that because I haven't done an 03 since. I think I can beat that. It's got to be clean.
Said I was probably watching you do it live, faced with tears of joy.
It's like Tuesday or something. Short shift was an accident.
Said LOL, imagine all that fuel mapping up and down using a controller.
Close one.
Said Alto, it would be painful rolling on the floor laughing. Said, that's exactly the reason I don't do these types of races yet.
It's fun as long as I have some competition. Somebody else is doing what I'm doing.
I'll tell you that. Said, once I get a wheel, it will be way easier on my hands for driving and being able to use a manual gearbox.
Definitely. Why can't I do that anymore? The other day I had such good consistency.
Said I don't play this game much. I forgot how much fun Reefest is.
I think we're still fine.
Said Alto, there's lots of ways to fuel save. You can set 2 mix and just short shift. Said, but that's easier way, not fastest. Said you could make a sandwich and still win.
An 8-second sandwich? That's a fast sandwich. You owe me an 8-second sandwich.
Said, sorry Turbo, that would disappoint the royal hell out of me.
Nine-second sandwich.
Said I use an auto gearbox, so short shifting isn't an option, unfortunately. Said, yeah, I know, Alto.
Made some mistakes in my rhythm there.
Said, oh heap, you are screwed, rolling on the floor laughing.
That was a straight up attacking Degner one the other day, really aggressively. Doing a nice job. Do you hear my dog barking, or is that just me?
I'll tell you mine. Said, but I appreciate the tips and tricks you guys say, and I get to watch. Said, that doesn't mean I'll beat you guys fast, but I'll pick up some pace nonetheless, thumbs up. Said, practice and practice. Consistency is key, flex biceps. Said, if you are bored, why still use perfect Subaru OP?
I just did one run with the Ferrari and it was a little too much. I want to make sure I win, Enrique. but I don't need to go for total times after I make a mistake. If I can do a perfect run from the beginning, I'll go all the way to the end, like trying to make it perfect, but once I make a mistake, then I get a little bored. In the Ferrari, it's just too hard, but I would do another one if you wanted me to. With Germano in the M6, we'll see what his total time is, what our time is. I can do like a 25 in the Ferrari, but in this car, I can do single digits and maybe lower. For total time.
Said, when I played Shift Online Turbo, I was in the top 50 on Road America with a Zonda or unrestricted class. Problem on the straight if I don't stay ahead. Said nice alto flexed biceps.
No, I'm gonna end up losing this maybe. He's really close. I'm out of fuel. One too many chicanes too early. That stinks. Next time, no chicanes, I guess. It wasn't by much. Enrique making a good point. Why am I messing around? I need these points. But I could do that time in the Ferrari, but it's just so hard to get a clean run. Eventually, I'm going to make a mistake in that car.
Alto animal. Said, most of the guys I raced with were from the UK and very fast gentleman racers. Tabo Hulk.
I have time for at least
nice
one more and I'll try to make the best
biceps.
one. Got messages to look at. Look at that, PSRT Oxford. Never thought I'd see that.
Tabo Hulk. Said I heard rumors tomorrow, daily, C, is Monza GR3.
I don't
Let's see
think
if it's
anybody
true,
knows
LOL.
what it's going to be.
Alto animal. Said, still a good run, Grove, thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm disappointed I threw away a win, but I didn't lose too many points on that. Probably the same. He said he forced a little, no.
Tabo Hulk. Said not Monza, my bad, I wanted to say Spa-Francorchamps.
Does it not show his name here? Where's Germano? I was gonna message him and say no, his move was good. Oh well.
Alto Animal. Said I like either track for GR3 winking face.
It's the wrong one. Yeah, I can't do my qualifying time. There's not enough time in between. I'm just gonna chill, relax for my 3 minutes. Reading some news headlines. Any messages that I missed? Any missed calls? Doesn't look like it. Any emails? Any important emails? Check my bank balance. I got all these things to do as an adult. How are we looking? Doesn't look like I missed any of these lately. I love his background with the Ferrari. Can't hit on that. It's got a lot of time driven.